Hello, hello, hello. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I am a little behind, but I'm here. Come on in, come on in, come on in. Happy Tax Tip Tuesday. I was not talking to users. My dog came running in. And you'll see me looking to the side because I moved my desk around and my screen is over here. But because that's where I'll look to see comments. But come on in, come on in, come on in. No, no. Today, we're going to talk about travel expenses. So, remember, for the last 5 weeks, um, I've been talking about 10 most overlooked deductions that small businesses make at tax time and even during the year. So, today, I'm going to talk about travel expenses. I am Tracy L. Tate. I am the CEO of TLJ Professional Services, where we are about all things financial, and I bring to you almost 40 years experience in bookkeeping and accounting as well as tax preparation. I have a master's in business, a master's in accounting, as well as a master's in public administration. So, with that being said, travel expenses. People get confused about what they can and cannot deduct for travel expenses. So, right off the bat, you get to deduct everything that's business related, period. So I'm going to start from packing, right? So if you have to go buy luggage, you get a passport, you have to um, get pre TSA, fingerprinting and stuff like that, so that you can get pre TSA or clearance and stuff like that. It kind of starts way back there. Those are deductible to your business if your business requires you to travel. Okay. So those things, your luggage, um, clothing, not so much. So clothing always seem to cause some confusion. So I'm gonna stick with clothing for a little bit. Depends on your profession, right? And what the travel is for. So if you're traveling for business, and let's say that you're going to be a presenter at an event, you can actually buy an outfit and have it a business expense, okay? Because you will be in the public and you can make yourself presentable to the public for that event. That includes hair, makeup, shoes, right? If you're full body. With Zoom nowadays, you might get away with a top because your bottom half is not shown. Shoes, definitely not. Hair, yes. Things like that. Okay. So when you're traveling, depending on your travel, and it definitely depends on your industry, anytime that you are branding something, clothing that you buy, whether it's shoes, a shirt, jacket, pants, whatever, if you're branding those items, that's 100% deductible. Okay. And you can use those in travel. Okay. You can also deduct your transportation to the airport. So that could be an Uber, a taxi, the mileage for your own vehicle. Okay. If you have a business vehicle, then the business is already tracking miles for expenses to be deducted. Okay. So that piece, when you're in the airport to get a meal, while you're waiting for your airfare or airline to board, right? Snacks, something to drink, all of those things, the neck pillow, all of those things are business deductible under travel. Okay. It's travel meals. So you do want to separate out travel meals from travel. You can lump hotel, expenses, everything in travel except for meals. You want to piece that out. Why? Because travel meals is only half deductible unless it's from a restaurant. The restaurant piece was something that they added last year, I believe. Last year or the year before, where if the meal comes from a restaurant, it's 100% deductible. It's when they took away entertainment because you're no longer supposed to deduct entertainment. As long as you're conducting business and food is being served at a restaurant, then it is a business meal. Okay. When you're traveling, if you are entertaining a client, it's 100% deductible. Entertaining meaning that your business meeting, you're footing the bill of drinks, of the meal itself, of desserts, whatever. You're able to deduct those things. Okay. You could deduct 100% of your lodging. Okay, the transportation to get to your hotel if there's no free shuttle. You could deduct the tips that you give to any of them, right? If you tip your Uber, if you tip your valet, if you tip rental car, you're allowed to deduct a rental car 100%. If you tip anything along the way, your housekeeper, well, it's not a house, but your what do they call? Room keeper. So I normally tip at the end of my stay. Is it the same person that's been cleaning my room? Maybe, maybe not. They get the benefit of it. Okay, whoever cleaned my room last, get the tip. So all of these things are deductible as business expenses when you travel. Now, another thing that people run into is, well, what if I want to combine my business travel with personal? Then you separate the two. How I recommend keeping track of what's what. Business activities go on your business card. Personal activity go on your personal card. Ideally, you would check out and check back in under a different card or pay for your first nights or whatever nights that's business with your business card, your bank account card, your ATM card, your business credit card, and then pay for your personal stuff separate. It's tricky to try to deduct the whole travel unless you conduct business every single day. But I do know that people extend their vacation or extend their business trip to include a couple of personal days because they may not get to go again, right? So they may choose to go to the zoo, or just remember, if it's not business related, don't use your business card. And your trip, your business would not fund 100% of the travel costs if you're combining personal time with it. Okay. So you kind of want to plan it where you could clearly define days, right? These are business days. These are my personal days. Okay. Everywhere I go, I conduct business. So every one of my trips I go on, I always bring my computer, so I deduct. Okay. I may take a couple of hours out, go get a massage or whatever, but that's normally after my business hours. So therefore, it still counts. Okay. So it's one of those things. It's not what you do, it's how you do it and the method in which you do it. Okay. So the way to keep it clean is to use the right card for the right activities. Okay. Don't use your business card if you're doing a personal meal. Maybe you have family in where you visited, y'all went out, things like that, to a club, strip club. Do not use that as a business expense. I don't care if it was entertaining a client. Do not entertain your client at no strip club and think you're going to write it off. That'll be a tough one to get past the IRS in case of audit. Okay. So don't do it, especially since they've removed entertainment from being able to be deducted as a business expense. Now, your trip is over. Now it's time to leave. You deduct all of those things coming back home too. The transportation to the airport, the meal you had at the airport, any snacks or waters that you get, the travel pillow if you didn't get it coming, now you're getting it going home. Things like that. And then of course, once you land, anything that you have to pay for to get yourself home. So that's 100% of what you get to deduct. Okay. Can you deduct a magazine? You can if it's business related. So let's say that you bought Money Journal. I'm a finance person, so that's a subscription for me. I get to deduct that, right? But you wouldn't write off a game, for example. It's not business related. So pick and choose your battles. You don't want to cause unnecessary audits. You don't want to leave money on the table by not claiming some things as well, right? So if you're not sure, work with a professional or ask someone in a professional group if you're not sure, okay? But you definitely can deduct 100% of business related travel expenses. Okay. So, again, if you extend your travel to include some personal time, you just want to separate the two, right? And keep a track of it. So, let's say that you have, you travel for 4 days, 2 of the days is business, 2 of the days is not. Um, then those 2 days, even if they alternate, use the card that's appropriate, especially when it's coming to meals, right? That's the easiest piece. And then also use the right card for transportation and things like that to and from the location. Now, the additional time for the hotel stay is not a business expense. You would have had to pay transportation to get back to the airport anyway, so it doesn't matter which day. The fact that it was 2 days later is irrelevant. Now, if you work for somebody like an employer and they do not reimburse 100% of expenses, whether that's miles or travel, you get to deduct those on your personal tax return. Okay. And that's even for your business. You can deduct it on your personal tax return. Now, they did remove some of the deductions from a federal standpoint, but a lot of states did not conform. California definitely didn't conform, and you're allowed to deduct uniforms and stuff like that where you couldn't before. Okay. Well, you can't from a federal standpoint, but you can for state purposes. So just be mindful of what you're doing. And as far as like buying clothing and stuff like that, as long as you brand it, it's 100% deductible. Okay. So keep that in mind. Um, so quick recap, travel expenses. So I've been going over for the last 5 weeks, and we got 5 more to go. The top 10 business deductions that small businesses miss in their taxes. So the first week we did home deduction office. Second week we did startup expenses. I was doing a challenge the third week, so I combined business use of car as well as professional services into week 4 because we didn't have a week 3. And then today we are talking about travel expenses. Next week, we're going to talk about bad debt and what that means, because bad debt is a couple of things, right? It depends on if you're cash or accrual, but then it also, it could be waste. That's considered bad debt. Okay, so I want to make sure for like the restaurants out there or anybody that has perishables that we cover that bad debt piece there, because those are, it's uncollectible, right? You won't make money off them, so therefore you get to write those off. So today have been about travel expenses. So the way to keep it clean is anything that's 100% business related is deductible when it comes to travel. So that's everything from pre-travel. That could be getting your hair done. It could be buying an outfit. It could be going to buy luggage. It could be whatever is needed for that trip, suntan lotion, things like that, where it's out of your realm because you're going to a different climate, things like that. It could be a coat, right? A jacket. Then those are deductible because those are not normally things that you would have if you were not traveling to that space, right? So those are deductible expenses. And if you're not sure, what you can and cannot deduct is the tax season is fast approaching. That deadline for individuals of October 16th is we about a little over a month away, 45 days to be almost exact. So if you are not working with a tax professional, you are not clear on what you can and cannot write off, we do accept clients all year long. So go to the website, tljprofessionalservices.com. Put hashtag replay and hashtag tax tip Tuesday. Hey, and I hope that you got some valuable information from this. And if you're not traveling in your business, you need to start, because guess what? You can consider a business retreat a travel expense for you so that you could get away, reset, right? Mind, body, and soul as a business expense. It is a reset. Like I go and have been rather every year going to Cabo to do my business retreat to plan for next year, like what worked this year, what didn't, and then plan for next year, my entire year. So I spend 5 days, and all 5 of those days I work. I play after hours because I would be off from work anyway. So what I do after hours is irrelevant. Um, if I go out to a nightclub, I cannot write that off as a business expense because it's personal. I'm off work, right? So make it make sense and take some time for yourself. Business is hard, okay? So take that time to reset. It will do your body wonders. It will do your mind wonders. Okay, so take that time. Travel expenses was a great topic today because you do need to take time for yourself, small business owner. If your family goes with you, anything that you pay on their behalf, unless they are an employee, is considered a personal expense. If you put them in your business as an employee, this is a business retreat, and all of them, their expenses are covered as well. So be mindful of your deductions. This has been Tax Tip Tuesday, travel expenses, part of the 10 most missed deductions from small business owners and entrepreneurs. I am Tracy L. Tate. I am the CEO of TLJ Professional Services. We are about all things financial, and I look forward to seeing you next Tax Tip Tuesday. Be blessed.